Nerdy, welcome to the incredibly high mountains between India and China, of course, the Himalayan mountains, home to one of the airports with the highest elevations in the world. For example, Twaza Airport. Yes, this airport with a 10,000 foot long runway is at 10,000 feet. 3,000 meters above ground. As you can see, a pretty largely built asphalt runway. Obviously, India builds those for strategic purposes. You know, at the border of China, we can maybe try to take off the Cessna 152 here. A plane that you can definitely make overweight by just having two people sitting in it. Although we're able to take off quite well at 10,000 feet. Yes, only special planes are actually able to fly here. Check this out. We cannot reach any altitude at all. Just like that, with only one person sitting in it. And no, there's no way. It's been a good landing. But this 10,000 foot high airport is nothing compared to the special Dawlat Beg Odi Advanced Landing Ground, the highest airfield in the world. Let's go ahead and maybe see how that looks. Very close once again to the Chinese border. Let's maybe spawn into it, of course, also added into the Microsoft Flight Simulator. All right, Dawlat Beg Odi Advanced Landing Ground. We're at an altitude of 16,000 feet. Yes, 5,000 meters, not feet, meter. An altitude so high that you can hear that the engine is noticeably quieter on the Cessna 152 here. Obviously, we've got very, very low amounts of oxygen here at this place, which is bad because the engine needs a lot of oxygen to go fast and stuff. And it's even worse because these wings obviously need air to lift up. Come on. Also, the fact that we've only got a dirt runway doesn't make all of this any better because we're barely able to gain speed. We're at 29 knots now. We can see a center line that's kind of marked in here. Come on. 42 knots. That should be able to get this plane lifted off into the air, actually. That's pretty good. All right. And after, what, it's 7,000 feet of takeoff roll, it might be time to try and lift the Cessna 152 off the ground at 16,000 feet, an altitude where you'll never fly a plane like that. Because you know, trouble with hypoxia. There you go. You got the small little houses here. And we've taken off from our little dirt strip. Barely. Come on, come on. No, don't touch down now. This plane is absolutely useless up here. Great. You know, I recently found this very interesting article here from Simple Flying, the highest military airfield. It houses a military post, and since the 1960s, due to tensions with China and the region. Whatever it is, the highest airfield in the world was opened in 2008. The first landing was done on this beautiful Antonov An-32, a very rough airplane that can practically land anywhere, and so it did land here. The dirt ground needed to be compacted to allow landing and reduce dust spray. This was done by the Indian Army using water and engine oil. There you go, that looks quite nice. Yeah, that is still a lot of brown now that's happening. Makeshift containers and temporary pavement was used to mark points and distances on the runway. Well, that is great. That is a professional ICAO standard runway. This is really funny. The engines had to be kept running after landing, as the APUs to restart would not operate at such low oxygen levels. So yes, you can't turn the plane off because that's so high. Overall, there's been several flying events happening. For example, C-130 in 2013 landed here at the Dawlat Beg Odi Airport. Here you can actually see they made this proper runway. Here you can see the display threshold, the runway number, runway 01 confirmed. Looks a whole lot better than in the flight simulator. Here you can see landing happening. The C-130 is definitely a cool plane. I mean, check out that reverse thrust being introduced with that brownout. That should be amazing. And here you can also see a takeoff here from a helicopter's perspective, which works very well. The C-130 is, after all, a stall airplane, even though it did use pretty much all of that runway, which is amazing. It says the C-130 can fly here. In fact, I'm pretty sure most turboprop planes will be able to fly here. I mean, check out this King Air. We can try to take it off here. You can see, yeah, that is the runway 01 that the C-130 landed on. That's kind of cute how it still has it in the satellite scenery. This is not a proper airport in the Microsoft Flight Simulator. There you go. The King Air is known for having a lot of power. This, on the other hand, is a problem here. Wow. That still requires pretty much the whole runway taking off on the highest airfield in the world. Check this out. All right. And you can see we are truly fast, even though we are only indicating 80 knots of speed which just shows the oxygen levels are so low that the true indicated airspeed is like 150 knots, while the actual mass in the air is so sparse that it's only indicating like 100 and something knots. But there we go. That is surely enough to take off a King Air like this. Obviously, this is a plane that can fly at altitudes of over 17,000 feet, so that's no problem. What does highly intrigue me is the plane's problems that have operated here so far of not being able to actually turn off that engine because of the dangers of not being able to relight them anymore once they want to fly off. That's right now on board an A320. How would an airliner be able to actually start? We're right now on the runway already. We can maybe try and see if we can turn those batteries on, kind of like that. Let's see if the APU lights up. Here you go. Start that up, please. I mean, can you hear it in the background? It is actually turning on. I mean, there you go. Actually, this is working just fine. It might be not the most realistic thing. There you go. That plane worked. That plane's able to turn on. I mean, we're even able to turn on that engine, I guess. Yeah, there you go. That's turning on. There you go. You can see some spinach. Although this plane surely isn't all too happy here at this altitude. As you can see, we've got a cabin altitude alert. It's just way too high. That's really funny. All right, let's see if we can take off here. Well, as you can see, the oxygen masks of the passengers are on. Take off here just fine, right? It is so quiet here too. Once again, the Microsoft Flight Simulator just renders the sound so low. Oh, and you can see, wow, that's not even gonna work. As you can see, we're already overshooting the runway, which is not bad because it's all just dirt anyway here. But that's crazy. Let's take off. Come on, I want you off the ground. Oh, there you go. That's already done it. You're not able to take off this A320 from the 7,000 foot long runway, which is just a crazy thought. Boom. Now, I do wonder what a landing looks like here at an airport like this. We're at 19,000 feet here on final approach. That is so interesting. How does a landing look like here? You can see we have plenty of speed. What's this plane? So dark. It's funny, we're operating at an airspeed of 160 knots, while the ground speed is 218. We can see the runway that is kind of, yeah, you know, it can differentiate it pretty well. Let me tell you, this is a fast landing, so this is another problem. More power. We need more power. Way more power. Well, that might have been a better landing, actually. All right, come on, stop it. Perfect. Reverse thrust here now at the highest airport in the world. I don't think spot stopping would be a problem. Even though with a jet engine, of course, here, this is not very well simulated. You have so much dirt accumulating in front of the aircraft. You just brown out to properly stop. But there you go. You quite need some runway. We've pretty much used all of it. Here is the end of the runway. I mean, my idea would also be just add a runway to this. We've got like the 7,000 foot long runway here now. This could probably work pretty well. There we go. Let me try now take off here on an A330 on an asphalt runway here on the highest airport in the world. There you go. 16,000 feet indeed. Toga takeoff, but you can still see, yeah, this plane does take its while to gain speed. It does. So this runway now, you can see, isn't the longest at all. I mean, for an A330, this would be short anyway. 7,000 feet. Come on. Come on. Oh, that was a tail strike. Oh. All right, you're not going to be able to lift the A330 off the ground here with this airplane at all. That is so interesting. Wow. A plane that should work is this right here. The C-17, we all know it. And then Air Force also has it. And there's been lots of discussions of being able to actually fly the C-17 here too. I mean, this is a powerhouse of an airplane. Come on, man. As you can see, the sound is completely broken because we're so high up in the air. This plane is so confused as well. But this, as you can see, with its extremely powerful engines, should be able to take off here just fine. Especially now with this luxury asphalt runway. That's actually nice. There we go. You can see even the old numbers. Yeah, you would have to make this runway substantially longer too for that to work. So everybody, the highest airfield in the world. I want to see the C-17 fly here. That's all I can say. Sorry to thank you guys so much for watching today's video, and I'll see you guys tomorrow. As always, good night. Now, thank you very much to my highly supporting members like Jamie Ashton, Mike C, James Duram, Ragings, Met RLG, Matt Fan Z, Moritz, Bellhausen, Knots Enthusiast, Shadow, New York, Ryland Williams, Kelly Chaos, John O'Brien, and I'm addicted to Airbus A380s. Thank you.